Hey, we're back to it on the Morning Brew, and we're back to business here on Monday morning. I'm Larry Ahrens with Nika Allen joining us on the show this week. And with us is President and Publisher of Albuquerque Business First, Ian Anderson. Welcome back, Ian. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Nice to have you here. We appreciate, by the way, on Monday to have you guys from Albuquerque Business First leading us off.
Well, we appreciate being here. We free cup of coffee, and we get
it's a good thing.
Conversation, and yeah, we always have a good time.
Starting us off with a very strong week, so everything else will be smooth sailing after you.
Really, my head's blowing up. It's exploding.
Nika, the cover story is interesting, and we were talking about this. This is kind of when worlds collide. We have the marijuana issue colliding with business and human resources, and you cover that on your cover story this week.
Yeah. So the cover story this week, it was marijuana in the ballot, the November 4th ballot question that'll be addressing. It'll be addressing basically the tolerance in the general public's. The general public's sentiment towards marijuana, and And in a nutshell, it's not going to change anything. If there's anything we do know, it's just basically taking sentiment from the public, and it can be indicative of the way that this initiative goes forward. The take that we're taking on it is, what does this mean in the workplace? So there's some interesting implications and some kind of some wrinkles that really come into the mix when we have the 1988 Workforce, the Workforce Act, and that says that if you have a federal contract, you have to take mandatory random drug tests, and if you fail one, an employer needs to fire you.
Yeah, that's a federal thing.
Well, and if what we've talked about about Albuquerque's economy and New Mexico's economy is there's a lot of federal contracts here. So
a bunch.
There's a ton of federal contracts here. So a third of our GDP is coming from dollars from federal dollars. So what does that mean if we have looser restrictions on marijuana, and if you have an employee that fails that really is failing a marijuana test, but it was legalized, or if there were no really some lower penalties on it, what does that mean? And at the end of the day, it's still illegal on a federal level. So we talked to a bunch of labor law firms, and they said if you have a policy in place, federal law will stay with you, and you can enforce that, and that'll be just fine. So.
Does it come down to the individual companies then and how they want to decide to deal with this?
Yeah, it does. It does. From the companies, the law firms that we talk to, it's a wait and see. It's put your policies in place. If you stick to your policies, there shouldn't be any issues with it. We also talked to Beverly McClure over at ECI, and some of the stats that came from that conversation were staggering. Where I think it was about 50% of workforce accidents happen when someone's high. So there were just some pretty interesting stats that come out there. 11% of the general population smokes marijuana. So, we even if your company just has the national average, you're still not in fantastic shape. Yeah, look around the room.
Yeah, so. somebody is doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Are they treating it the same as alcohol? You obviously can't drink at work.
Yeah.
Are the same rules applying here?
Yeah, it seems like it's a zero tolerance approach that they're going to be taking on it, and it seems like something that's pretty similar.
But the drug test thing is interesting.
It is.
Because it's lingering. Stay in your system 30 days or something like that?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Sure, but
I wouldn't know myself, but that's what I've read.
Yeah. I don't count down the days on it. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what they do, because it's it's really different now. It's not just you're not just drunk at work. It's maybe you had a fun weekend.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Did.
But then you come to work just normal and as you would. But I don't know. So
absolutely,
it'll be interesting to see.
It's something we'll be watching, that's for sure. It'll be very interesting to see just what the public sentiment is, and the turnout on November 4th, because the voters ultimately decide, and if there's something that really comes out one way or another, I think you'll start seeing that conversation either dissipate based on non-interest, or if it's something that really, as states, cash-strapped states, look for more revenue, they are watching Washington and Colorado very closely. So there is a ton of tax revenue that's being generated in the first year of these things, and they're going. In Colorado's case, they're going to schools. So
Yeah. This is something lawyers love. There's enough gray area here to paint a battleship.
Totally.
I mean, they love this, so you can litigate it any way you want.
any which way you want.
They're creating the rules right now, so
It's
easy to-
one of those where there's no shortage of policies. I mean, whether in your healthcare or HR law, there's all kinds of fun things to sink your teeth into if you're a law firm. Sure.
All right, so let's talk about the other thing we're doing here, marijuana and beer. I never thought we'd be doing business on that.
I know,
But
this is fantastic.
The beer biz is a big deal here, and you guys are running a thing called Beer Madness.
So yeah, we've been on before talking about just the emergence of the microbrews and the local breweries that are popping up
And we
left
love
and
'em.
right. They're fantastic. We just love these things. It creates a vibrant economy. These are they're not just small tiny business operations that are operating out of their basement. I mean, you've got some serious capital expansion that's happening in town. So what do? We want to pair up, really have a bracket challenge, and we took 32 beers and we started them all off, and they were randomly seeded. We didn't have a very
There's
we
your
didn't have-
bracket
there's
right
our
there.
bracket.
It's like the March Madness thing.
Exactly. So we've got porters, stouts, specialty beers, IPAs, and ales, and they're competing against each other. I mean, the beers you know and love. We've got on our website, albuquerquebusinessfirst.com. There's the big bracket. You can vote, find your favorite beer, and at the end, we'll have the overall winner, and we also have a reader's choice. So we do not claim to know every single fantastic beer that is in town. So you can write in and let us know. And it's a fun thing. We say over at our office, we cover business news, so we give you vegetables all day. We can give you some candy every once in a while, and we can have some fun. So yeah, we're having fun
That's
with this
funny.
one, and just a ton of votes, a ton of engagement. Social media is taking off on it, so yeah, it's just a
Why
fun
not?
thing. Why not? Exactly.
fun. I've been trying to go to a lot of the breweries. One of my the startup companies that I work with, we have weekly meetings. So sometimes we'll switch local breweries and
Definitely.
just try different
What a
ones.
great
see how it is.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, do some business over there and have a beer.
exactly.
This Thursday, you're doing Top CEO Awards.
Yep, we've got our top CEO awards. It is Thursday at Sandia. It's a luncheon, and yeah, this is where we honor the top CEOs, really the leaders in the business community. We've got everyone from, a lot of the folks have been on here. You've got, Tom Garrity. You've got John Kiner over at Q Realty. You've got, Kurt Shipley, who leads Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Mexico, and he's obviously had a very busy year acquiring Loveless Health Plan. So, this is where you we hear from the CEOs in their own words. We've got the video vignettes and kind of how they got to where they are, and words of advice and mentorship and things like that. And it's a fun event. And I think there still are a couple tickets left. So that's another thing, just on our website, albuquerquebusinessfirst.com. And
Man,
you can find them there.
If I was a networker wanting to meet some CEOs, this is kind of where I'd want to
Great
be,
place
right?
To be. Exactly.
it.
Because they're in a good mood, and they're
It's quite festive,
Yeah.
right? We're not, there are no takedown pieces that are coming out during that event. It's a nice feel-good event, that's for sure.
And you guys sure know how to throw it. That's one of the best events of the year, I think.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with these with our events, and we're really, it's an opportunity for us to really engage with our audience, and also let our audience of business readers come together and learn more about each other and have deals get done, and we seem to be getting better and better at throwing a party. That's for sure. Yeah,
a story idea for you.
great.
Would you like it?
Yes.
Apple Pay starts today. I'd be interested to know who around town is going to take it.
Absolutely. It's funny. So I saw one of the first grocery stores to adopt it. It's from my hometown, Wegmans, up in the Northeast.
Yeah.
They're taking Apple Pay. It'll be interesting because I use my phone for the Starbucks, the barcode.
Yeah.
They say this thing's going to replace your wallet, and my wallet doesn't run out of batteries. So I wait until they figure out battery life. I don't know if I'll
That's true.
feel
I saw
totally
a thing
comfortable
on it
checking
this
my
morning.
wallet.
It's impressive what this is going to do.
It's going to be pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Be interesting to see how it rolls out here.
Yeah, you know what? We'll keep an eye on that.
Okay.
We'll get back to the office and we'll tell
Hey.
Mayfield. Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
tell Mayfield. He's
We'll
all over
tell
it.
Mayfield. He'll be on
I
a
love-
dog with a bone.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, Ian, it's always fun to talk to you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Ian Anderson, president and publisher of Albuquerque Business First. Still some tickets left for the Top CEOs Luncheon this Thursday that the publication sponsors. We always love talking to ABQ Business First. Look, we'll be back in a moment. We're going to meet a dealer of the year in the car biz. He's here with us today on The Brew after this.